Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we're back with another VV and Ecomi video. It looks like the homie Dan has actually dropped a video speaking on why bronze tickets won't save us. So I guess this isn't really going to help the OMI token in his views and his opinion. So I'm definitely interested in hearing his perspective on it. I did just get to listening to a podcast from Danny the Bull, a stream where he was talking about one of the things that he didn't like, which was there wasn't a clear answer from David Yu when he asked, was the OMI token going to be the primary currency of the VeVeVerse? And it looks like he kind of danced around that question, which makes you question, is the OMI token going to be the main token anywhere, if not the VeVeVerse? If the OMI token is not the main currency for the VeVeVerse, where is it going to be the main currency for? Like what is the use of it? Was it really just what was it? Was it really e-scammy? Like what happened to David Rosen? Was it really e-scammy for real? Like what's going on with the token? So like this doesn't sound good. I mean, it's not sounding good. I wasn't really impressed with a lot of what I heard from David, but Danny made a good point when he said that Dan is more so the one who can speak on the VeVeVerse. David should not know as much as Dan when it comes down to that, or it's probably not as well, you know, like well educated as Dan would be on the topic, because David's an IP. I mean, he's focusing on the deals and partnerships and stuff like that. He's not really focusing on the development of the VeVeVerse. So yeah, that being said, we're gonna jump into this one when we're talking about the bronze tickets, and we'll see what Dan has to say about this one. So yeah, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and let's get into it, y'all.
To my channel. What I want to talk about today is why I don't believe OMI token bronze tickets, that new utility we're supposed to get sometime soon, that's next on the developmental timeline, why I don't think these OMI token bronze tickets are going to drastically appreciate the price of OMI, or they may not even be used very frequently in the short term. And I want to talk about why I believe that. This is not designed to FUD. I still hold my OMI tokens, but I'm just not optimistic about the effects of bronze tickets on OMI token price. And when you listen to my video here, I think you'll understand why I feel that way and what I think going forward is going to happen in the long term. Now, before I begin, like always, I appreciate all the support you all have had on my channel. I just merely ask if you like my content to please just give a like, subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. Now, this page you're looking at is from the VeVeVerse Tracker website. I'll put a link down below of where you can kind of analyze this yourself. I know many people are already aware of her site, which I think is great, provides a lot of great analytics here. But as you can see, I have had a date frame of March 1st to October 31st, 2023. So as you can see here, this data is really just from January 1st, 2022 onward, and we see active wallets. And as you can imagine, when prices and exuberance was very high in 2022, there's quite a lot of active wallet activity, right? There's people buying and selling. And as the bear market has manifested itself, we see this active wallet variable drop down quite drastically. Really, we don't see a whole lot of activity. It seems like there's very little growth, just kind of sustained activity, which I will say is quite a bit of activity because people are still buying and selling. People are still active on Twitter. Drops are still selling out. So I don't want this graph to fool you into thinking that there's a conclusion that VV or OMI is dead, which I do not believe whatsoever. But the argument is definitely made apparent that activity has gone downhill since January 1st, 2022. And
You have to admit their retention has been trash, but realistically, at the time where stuff was looking like that, VV was just at an insane height that no one thought it would get to that quick, and it was just doing some unheard of things. So that was just like that super, that super explosive moment where it's abnormal, and did, like, more than likely, if VV makes it to the company that we all believe that it's going to be, that's going to have to be slowly built and go up over time. Anything that just shoots up like that is bound to come down eventually. So yeah, VV's growth was abnormal from the start. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about that there, but yeah, they're just their growth was insane. It was explosive. And a lot of that wasn't even real. Like it was bot accounts and stuff like that as well. So that has to be factored in. It was a lot. So yeah.
Also, you can conclude from the new active wallet graph that there really isn't a whole lot of users. So people have been saying on Twitter that really people buying drops for the same people using recycled money buying and selling. This is kind of supported by the data, which doesn't show a whole lot of new active users or wallets. On Twitter, you can kind of get the same sense that the same group of people are buying drops. And what I will say
Yeah, Randy subscribers, man. Shout out to Randy, bro. Hey, y'all, y'all be holding up these markets, man. Like, hey, I love the conviction, man. I love the conviction. I hope nobody gets down too bad or hurt or too financially damaged by these decisions. But yo, I mean, this is the yeah. I mean, it's something. It's definitely something. But I believe in VV, but not everything. It's not enough information to know where the value is going to be. And if you're a true collector buying all this stuff, have fun, have a blast. You may never get your money back, and that's okay. If you are looking to get your money back and you're making these risky plays like this, and not even risky, most of them are stupid. If you're going for every single drop, that's absolutely stupid. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully nobody's doing that. But I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I just think that is stupid personally if you're going for every single drop and you're looking to get a profit. But hey, that's just me.
say is this is a very passionate group of people on Twitter. I've met quite a lot of these people in real life. I've talked to many of them on a daily basis. The core group of VV users is actually very loyal and they are very active in the community. So I don't want to discredit these people, but it's just clear that there really isn't a whole lot of new users. Here's another graph which shows the
And I don't wanna sit here and start another Quid war, VV war, but this is kind of on par with what happened with Quid. When I went to that community and was helping them try to revive Quid and get things back together, one thing that I noticed is they had that small group of loyal fans who have been buying everything from the beginning and just didn't want to leave. So they were just in denial and delusional about everything when it came down to Quid. Like they thought there was some big master plan, everything was taken care of. And I'll just say I'll just say none of what people were assuming was ever even real. But it's just that's just what happens when you're over leveraged and over invested into something. But yeah,
same data from January 1st to October 2023. We have drop participation. And I think this is going to be the core aspect of my argument here. When we're talking about bronze tickets, we're talking about someone who buys OMI for the purpose of utilizing them, the bronze ticket functionality. The bronze tickets, of course, will be approximately $1 worth of OMI that you can buy to use to increase your chances at getting a drop. If you going on the wait list equals 1 chance at getting a drop, buying a bronze ticket will increase that chance. Now you have a 2x chance if you bought 1 ticket, 3x if you bought 3 tickets, etc. So, of course, when we're analyzing this data, utilizing bronze tickets, then the utility is really only for primary drops, right? You're not using this on the secondary or for any other purpose right now. I know we're going to see a lot more utility in the future, and I've talked about this many times of the developmental timeline. The team has done many AMAs. We've seen David Yu on a lot of YouTube channels, and of course the team members have talked about this on Twitter and other social media about what they plan with the OMI token. So I also admit that this, of course, is just one aspect of utility, but it's something that we need to take into consideration when we just apply it towards the drops. So as you can see here, like we would imagine early on in 2023, there's a little bit more activity. The bear market has hit people pretty hard, and we haven't seen a lot of similar drop participation. We have that kind of stagnant kind of baseline volume of core users buying and selling, of course, and we have these big spikes. And I, of course, didn't look at the dates necessarily, but I would imagine what this means is people going after really sought after collectibles or grails, right? The investment grade type collectibles that everyone wants to get their hands on. This is what I believe these drops represent. So the argument I want to make here is that the more drop participation there is, the more demand we can have for the.
And I don't know what particular grails these are, but it could be showing a different sign as well that less people are starting to even go for grails. But it would depend on what a grail piece would be. Because first appearance of one of the most valuable comics in the world, I don't even know if they've dropped all those already, or do we even have product like that left to come? Like maybe Pokemon manga and stuff like that, or some different Japanese stuff, like some Asian stuff, like come to the platform. Like, but it's like, what grails do we actually have left that's going to drive a lot of traffic when people don't? There's too many grails on here. It's too many first appearances of cool things. So yeah, the interest in collecting all these grails could be dwindling as well.
OMI token as a bronze ticket, right? You're not going to be spending $1 to increase your chance at getting a drop that probably isn't going to sell out, because a drop that's not going to be sold out is typically a drop that really not a lot of people want. So VeVe has to be in a proper place, a strong marketplace where every drop is very competitive. And this is when we're going to see OMI token shine, of course. So in the past, in 2021, what I remember is it was very rare for even me to hit a drop. And granted, it was different back then. You had to really time it. You had to press the buy now button at the appropriate time.
And we were competing against a shit ton of bots. There was that.
And I wasn't very good at that. But really, very few people got drops. If you wanted to buy something, you'd have to buy it on the secondary market. And that was a great time because people were buying these things. And if they got it, they would sell them in the secondary for instant profit. 2, 3, 4, 5x profit was not unheard of back then. So that is an environment where bronze tickets would have shined, because if you use those bronze tickets, you would increase your chances of getting a collectible. Let's say you got one, you can rest assured that you can probably flip that for a profit. So bronze tickets would have been great in that environment of high demand. Now we're approaching a situation where we have lower demand, that baseline demand. So as you can imagine, with an environment that way, a bronze ticket is just not going to be in demand with lower volume. And therefore, I don't think in the short term, such as in the next 6 months to a year, we're going to see a lot of big price appreciation of OMI just because we have the bronze ticket utility.
That actually is very logical, makes a lot of sense. I would definitely agree with that. It's like no one is going to be going for any crazy drops where it's not. I don't see VeVe getting that competitive overnight again. I just don't see that happening. So yeah, it makes sense.
I imagine we could see the price pump up because people get excited, but I don't see the bronze tickets being a sustainable way for OMI token to go up in price. I am bullish in the long run. I just want to throw that out there so people don't get mad at me, but
in the long run, for sure. Like when we do see some of the Asian grails and stuff like that dropping, when we get more countries onboarded, like that's going to be huge at that point, because then it will be that competition to try to get drops, because it's going to be so many people. Like once the people is up, for sure, but it's going to take a while. I think that's going to take some time.
In the short term, I just don't think bronze tickets are going to appreciate the price of OMI very much. Now, the only way I see OMI token doing well is really if the primary and secondary markets are growing and there's a lot of demand again, kind of like what we saw in 2021. If we don't have this in the VeVe marketplace, the OMI token is just not going to see that price appreciation that we're all expecting. I have high hopes, but there's a couple things that I really believe need to happen in order for the VeVe marketplace to return to kind of its former glory. Not to imply it's doing badly, but we're just not seeing the growth numbers that we expected maybe a couple years ago or that we've seen in the past. Now, the first...
Oh, guys are so polite, man. VeVe shit right now is what he's trying to say. Yo, I'm still holding my stuff, bro. I'm playing with house money, to be fair, but I'm still holding my stuff. I still believe it's going to go up in this opportunity here, but VeVe ain't looking too hot, man. You got the same people who in over their heads, over leveraged. and you got people who are just true collectors who don't care to make a profit. Like those are the people you got here. Like and it's just been stagnant. But I mean, the fact that these people are sustaining, holding on, maintaining their faith means VeVe is doing something right. Like if, like I always said, worst case scenario, this is just collectors app, and the true collectors, they'll be the ones carrying things. That could leave. That could lead to that could leave room for a useless OMI token, but some of the collectibles could still hold value. So I mean, but it's a lot of people holding OMI, so that's a whole nother debate. What if OMI token is completely useless?
Thing I would really like to see, and I think this is a given, we need a return of optimism to the broader markets. That's not crypto and NFTs. It's also the broader financial markets, stock market. The economy needs to seem like it's doing better. People need to be more optimistic, whereas really people are not. That has to happen. There is no OMI bull market in my mind without a strong economy funding it. Now, the second thing I would like to see is we need to see a strong VeVeVerse. Now, we've been waiting for the VeVeVerse for probably years since they announced in 2021 that.
That's not a good sign, because a strong VeVeVerse is years off, many years off. At the rate where they're delivering just a freaking glorified showroom, at this pace, if they keep going at this pace, they've hired what, hundreds of new people, and they're still taking this long just to release that. Like at this rate, we're not going to see anything but a glorified showroom in the next 5 years. It's like we will be lucky if we get it in 5 years. It's crazy.
By the end of that year, we would see the VeVeVerse. We haven't seen it yet. We know there are people prototyping it. They're doing some beta testing on it, but we haven't seen it. Why I think this is important is we need to have a reason to buy these collectibles. You know, there's a big portion of the community buying investment grade collectibles, meaning a collectible that you would expect some profit in the short and long term. But people aren't buying those consumer grade collectibles. Collectibles that are just more kind of for fun. They're not really for investment. People aren't really buying those, and people need to.
Yeah, there's nothing fun about VeVe. That's the thing. Like you need little mini games or something like that to at least have some type of fun associated with it. And people are very simple. Like you don't have to sit here and create the next Fortnite with VeVe. Like you can do something very simple to bring some interest, like tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe, but you can reskin your tic-tac-toe pieces with Disney characters or something like that. And with that reskin, you can chess. And then there can just be a simple leaderboard. So you play against people using different skins. You can change between Toy Story skin, like Batman skins, like stuff like that. Like you can switch your skins off of your pieces and just play games of chess and checkers and stuff like that, and just have a leaderboard so people are competing against one another. Maybe you could even put some OMI up for a wager, like wagers. Imagine if you can wager some OMI. How fun would that be? Actually, just playing a game of tic-tac-toe, and you can put a couple of OMI on that, bet a couple of OMI on that. That would be lit. That would be sick. But I don't know if they could do all that. I mean, they're gonna focus on legal and things like that. I don't know how legal that's gonna be. I don't even know if regulation is going to allow that, and regulation may not really be set in stone for years. It's like, how long are we gonna wait to see anything cool with the OMI token?
Buy those, and I think that would help revive the market. One reason you would want to buy those things is to maybe decorate your VeVeVerse, maybe being able to play with that collectible, maybe also having a more social community around particular collectibles and things other people are passionate about. If there's a reason to showcase it besides on the phone and pictures on social media, then I think a lot of these consumer grade collectibles that maybe haven't sold out would start to do really, really well. And I think this would create a spark and return of optimism in the marketplace. See, that's what I
like. That's what, if VeVe is smart, that's what they'll do. They'll create a reason to hold the shitty collectibles. I mean, respectfully. The stuff that people don't care about. Like if you had an incentive to hold Electra, boom, right there. There you go. So like mini games and stuff like that, I think that it's a must. It's fun thing. The experience around holding certain collectibles is a must. So Yeah, man. We'll end it here. Be sure to check out the rest of Dan's video on his channel. Subscribe to his channel, all that, man. Check it out. Leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section. I definitely want to hear what you all have to say about this topic, man. But there we have it, man. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out, fam.